So we finally have a Battle Royale game that sets itself apart from all the other Battle Royale games. But there's a catch. Let's talk about this. Alright, so this is Survival Heroes. Yeah, I know it's kind of a generic off-brand name, but whatever. It's made by Snail Games, and these are the people that made Dark and Light, which is kind of like a fantasy-inspired version of Ark, Survival Evolved. They also made Ark Park, PixArk, which is a voxel-based version of Ark, as well as Age of Wushu, and a few other games out of China. And this is a Battle Royale game. Now, it's described as a MOBA slash Battle Royale, but to be completely fair, this isn't really a MOBA as much as it is an asymmetrical RPG. The only thing MOBA about it really is the fact that it's in an asymmetrical RPG style. So I really wouldn't say that this is a MOBA slash Battle Royale as much as I would say this is an RPG or MMO slash Battle Royale. Now, the catch that I mentioned in the intro with this game is that it's not a PC game. It's not available on PC. It is a mobile game. Now, you can play it on PC, which is exactly what I've been doing and what I did for this video to get some of the footage so I could get the best graphics possible and the best frames per second while also recording. It runs on my phone, but the game is pretty resource intensive. It's not very well optimized. It's still very early on. It's still in beta. If you have less than 3 gigs RAM in your phone, and if you don't have a decent processor, running this game is going to be kind of a chore, especially seeing as how one of the biggest problems I have with it is that there's no way to adjust the graphics until after you do the tutorial. So if you jump into the game and it runs like crap, you're going to have to deal with it running really, really bad until you get through the tutorial and it actually lets you change the settings. So that is one huge downfall. It's not very well optimized, and the fact that you can't adjust the graphics until after you've completed the tutorial is terrible. But it actually plays really well with a mouse and keyboard if you use an emulator like BlueStacks. I play with a mouse and keyboard and have a blast. So if you have a good computer, just download BlueStacks and download this game because it's a ton of fun. I'm not sure really where the servers are because there's only one server and this is in beta right now. Usually my ping jumps between around 150 milliseconds to 300 milliseconds. Sometimes it's a little higher when I'm dropping onto the map. But for the most part, it's not really anything too bad. It's not unplayable. The biggest time you notice it is when you're dropping. Sometimes you'll parachute down, and when you get ready to land, it all of a sudden puts you back another 10 foot back in the air and you don't really land. But aside from that, when you're jumping, it's not really that bad, especially if you're playing out of North America. But this game sets itself apart from all the other Battle Royale games in so many different ways. Even sets itself apart from Realm Royale, which for me was a huge surprise because when I play Realm Royale, I go into it basically wanting an RPG feel to my Battle Royale game, but it still for the most part feels like a Battle Royale game. Now with this game, other than the fact that there's only so many players and your goal is to be the last one standing, this feels like an RPG. It feels like you're playing something like Diablo or Path of Exile. Now I know Path of Exile did a April Fool's joke a while back where they did a Battle Royale mode. I actually didn't get a chance to play it. I didn't know about it. And it was just one of those days where I didn't want to hop on Path of Exile, and by the time I heard about it, my game needed an update, and I just didn't even bother. So I'm wondering if this doesn't play somewhat like that did, because you go around, you can loot, medicine cabinets, you can loot drawers, you can break crates, boxes, pumpkins, trees, bushes. You can break whatever and see if there's stuff hidden in them, sort of like you can in an RPG. You can find chests like you can in Realm Royale, but they're ranked, so you have wooden chests, silver chests. You can find keys that open up royal chests, and you get different kinds of gear, and the gear you have actually affects how the game goes. Now, throughout the game, you actually level up. If you kill a player, or if you kill the AI mobs that are spawned all around the island, not only can you get stuff from killing the mobs like you would in an RPG or a MOBA, but you gain experience and level up and get stronger. So you can actually get gear from people and get gear from these monsters and level up yourself regularly and still gain strength. And each piece of gear has different attributes to it. Like you can find a piece of armor that's, common, uncommon, rare, legendary, and they have different attributes. And you can get some gear that, maybe it's a cloth piece of armor. Maybe it doesn't give you the best defense, but it has like regenerative abilities where if you take damage, it will automatically replenish your health over the course of so much amount of time by a small percentage. Or you can get, armor that, it won't heal you, but it can take a lot of damage, or armor that, you know, increases your attack or defense. Your weapon also determines what kind of playstyle you're going to use. You know, when you find a weapon, that determines your skills that you're going to have with that weapon. It determines that weapon's strength. One thing I think was really cool, see, I'd primarily been using swords, a bow, and what was it? A scythe. And I was really enjoying it. And then I found some dual axes, and they were legendary. And when I picked them up, I had the ability to summon a bear, like a druid would in Diablo 2. And to me, that was so cool, because this bear just followed me around. And if anybody attacked me, it attacked them. And not only did that work for offense, but it also helped me for defense, because they'd be sitting there trying to fend off my bear, and it could give me time to, you know, run away and heal if I needed to, or, you know, set up and hide, where you can hide in bushes. You can gain the ability to scout in certain areas where you can see into the fog, where you might not know if a player's there or not, but you can look ahead a little bit, and you can lock on and scout an actual player and make sure you can keep track of them for so long and track them down. I mean, there's so many elements to this game that are just so cool. There are these little troll things, which they really don't look like trolls. They look more like the little furry things from the new Star Wars movie, but they run around and they have these sacks of gold on their back, and they'll run around, and if you see one and you chase them down, just like in Diablo, you can kill it and they'll drop legendary gear. They'll drop a bunch of gold, which you can use that gold to then turn around and find a shop on the map somewhere and buy new gear, buy new weapons. I mean, there's so many elements to this. I'm sure right now it's unbalanced. I mean, I'm having a ton of fun playing it. I haven't really had time to really dive in and see how the balances worked. But so far, I'm having a ton of fun playing it. It's got a lot for it, going for it. I really wish they would make a native PC port of this game, because I think this, like, it's awesome. It's a ton of fun. It gives me something completely different from any other Battle Royale game. It makes me feel like I'm playing an RPG in a competitive landscape, and I love that, because it's fun, but at the same time, it's so competitive, and everybody can have your own different play styles. A lot of these Battle Royale games, there's one play style or there's two. They don't really diverse it too much. But with this, you can decide, okay, do I want to focus on taking down the AI mobs to level myself up and get gear and avoid playing till the end? Or do I want to focus on landing and just destroying as many people as possible and leveling up as fast as I can, so the end game is so much easier? I mean, there's so many different ways you can play with this game. It's astounding. And now for the negative. Now, besides the performance, I've only got really one thing I can say about this negative, and that is the rune system. And I don't really know if it's so much negative now, because it is still in beta, but it reminds me a lot of the Paladin Strike system. Now, in Paladin Strike, you can pay real money for these runes and these chests for runes, and make your characters permanently stronger. Now, there's a similar system with this, where as you level up, you get slots available to where you can socket a rune in it. And I like that. I think it's a cool idea, especially if you cannot buy the runes. If you have to earn the runes from leveling up or finding them, and it's like random after a win maybe. But if you can pay for the runes, it's going to make the game very pay to win, and people are not going to want to play it. They're not going to want to sit there and play against people that have spent, you know, $200 on the game, and their characters are unbeatable. But if I can't really tell right now which direction they're going to go. I know right now you can pay real money to unlock the slots that you normally unlock from leveling up, so you can socket a rune, but I don't know if you can really just buy runes with real money. I haven't really dug too deep into the store, because like I said, this game's in beta. A lot of it's not even fully active yet, so if they make it to where you can't buy the runes with real money, I think it's good enough to where I'll let it slide. You can open up the slots with real money. But if they make it to where you can buy the runes, I don't know how much this game can survive, because it will be very, very pay to win. But that's all the time I got for this one, guys. Sorry I didn't upload any videos last week. Me and Nathan have been working on something huge for the channel, and it took a lot of time last week, and I decided to take a break on uploading so I could focus on working on this new project. We got to a pretty good point with it to where I felt like I could go back to uploading this week. So I'm hoping to have, you know, several videos up this week, throughout the week, and as well as hopefully Friday, me and Nathan will be able to announce what our big project is for the channel. But that's all the time I got for this one, guys, and I will see you guys next time.